And today is day 24. Today we're going to be talking about federal court AI rules, what every lawyer in Canada needs to know about it. Let's talk about the Federal Court of Canada and the actual rules it has in place for artificial intelligence. This video really matters because unlike a law society guideline, this isn't just professional advice. This is the federal court telling lawyers and litigants exactly what they must do, or they risk consequences in an active, ongoing case. So let's start. Back on December 20th, 2023, the federal court published two separate documents on the same day. The first one, called the Notice on Use of Artificial Intelligence in Court Proceedings. This one applies to lawyers, self-represented litigants, and interveners. Anyone actually filing any material with the federal court. The second is an interim principles and guidelines. This one is a little bit different. It governs how the judges and law clerks themselves use AI, artificial intelligence, internally. Things like analyzing large volumes of raw data, assisting with legal research, and administrative tasks. So right away, there are two separate rule books, one for the filing of documents and one for the court itself. Now here's the core rule for lawyers and litigants. If artificial intelligence was used to prepare materials filed with the court, that must be declared. And even in my previous videos, I have discussed this. This is not optional, not the best practice suggested, but an actual requirement. And the court has been clear that it is not banning artificial intelligence. One decision that it has put directly, that use of generative AI is increasing commonly and perfectly valid tool for barristers and solicitors, counsel, litigants to be using it. But in this court, it must be declared and its output must be verified by a human. So the rule isn't that we should not use artificial intelligence. The rule is we should disclose it and check, verify before putting it in front of a judge. This isn't theoretical either. There's already cases that show that have happened, that people who have not followed this have gotten into trouble. In Hussain versus Canada, decided in 2025, a lawyer's submissions cited legal authorities that the court simply could not find. The judge issued multiple directions demanding a proper book of authorities. It was only after repeated pressure that counsel finally admitted he'd used an artificial intelligence research tool called Wisto.ai, built specifically for Canadian immigration law. And yet, it was a big issue at that point that he had not disclosed that before. The artificial intelligence tool had hallucinated two cases that don't exist and miscoded a real case for a legal point it never actually supported. That's the exact scenario the disclosure rule is designed to prevent. Undeclared artificial intelligence use, unverified output, and a judge left to catch fabricated law on their own. So even we've discussed this throughout of the series, that verification of cases is very, very important. One more piece worth knowing. In September 2024, the Canadian Judicial Council released its separate guidelines on how judges across the country should approach artificial intelligence. This focus on the values like judicial independence, ethical use, safety, and transparency, and ongoing education for the bench. The federal court's own internal principles line up closely with this broader national framework. So here's the full picture in one line. The federal court allows usage of artificial intelligence. It does not ban it, but it demands two things without exception. Tell the court when you used it and verify everything it gave you before you file it. Before it leaves your office, it should be verified. All the sources and links to the federal court's actual guidelines are down below. And something I noticed as well personally when they had just done this is that when you're doing filing, there is like a tick mark where you have to declare that you are using artificial intelligence in the documents. And initially I did not do that, whereas I was using it, but later on when I read the guidelines, I started doing doing that. So please make sure that you are doing that as well. If you found this useful, subscribe for the rest of the series and do check out the videos from before. And do let me know in the comments, what do you think about the federal rules, guidelines, and about this series. Thank you.